Craziest courtroom moments of all time. Okay. We got to react to more of those bar rescue videos too, because these are some really good ass conversations. I'm not gonna lie. These are W ass conversations we need to have. Because a lot of y'all are young in the chat, a lot of y'all are my age as well. So actually understanding it and learning it, it makes it more of a pleasant feeling to even go to a restaurant, believe it or not. Like now you're gonna be picky and you're gonna want to go to a nice place. You feel me? So yeah, if you work more than 6 hours, you're required to take at least a minimum of 30 minutes. Yep. All right, craziest courtroom.
This is Scott Nelson, who is facing first-degree murder charges.
Oh, he is a killer.
Nanny in Orlando, Florida.
So you committed the worst possible crime.
Nelson was recently released from a 25-year
I'm sorry, Bacon. I'm sorry, bro.
For a bank robbery after he was let go from his.
Hold on. We're gonna start this over. Let me read these last comments right here. You said, "My boy, I thought I was gonna have to whoop you because a Blizz video was getting dropped before earlier." No, I dropped the video. Everything's good with the vid, right? Hopefully you like it, man. You said servers are having to get paychecks for half their tips and cash for the rest, still taxed on both, and now plus cash. Yo, that is fucking terrible. It sucks though that I don't use cash because I don't have cash on me. I use like my card. But had I used Cashman, I would rather just give them cash, bro. Also, no hate to you, OG. I get pissy when I'm hungry. And Google says y'all open, but not. Nah, I feel you. Man, I feel you, man. I feel you on that. So I had like a parfait made or some shit like that because right now I could eat some shit too. I feel you on that. Let me start this over. Craziest courtroom moments of all time. This motherfucker just had a first-degree murder. He killed his nanny in Orlando, Florida. It's a little bit weird. Is that an Instagram logo and shit outside the... Oh, that's... projector, I guess.
This is Scott Nelson, who is facing first-degree murder charges after killing a nanny in Orlando, Florida.
So you committed the worst possible crime.
He's
Nelson
smiling?
was recently released from a 25-year prison sentence for a bank robbery. After he was let go from his painting job, he decided to plan another robbery. Nelson broke into a house with a knife where a nanny was working as a caregiver. He kidnapped her, threw her in the trunk, and drove to a local ATM so he could withdraw cash. Nelson then drove to a remote location and stabbed her to death before ditching her body and the car, where he was later arrested. On trial, Nelson argued that the government was to blame.
You bought zip ties.
Yes, I did.
You bought duct tape.
That'd be correct.
You bought a knife.
I sure did. I bought that material because I had a plan in mind of how I was going to survive being thrown on the street again for what, the third or was it the fourth time by the government? And you know, you kick a dog enough times, they tend to bite back, and really, they just don't care anymore.
Nelson continues testifying.
So you rob an innocent house, an innocent nanny, kidnap her and stab her to death? And you're blaming the government? Fucking schizo mother.
Showing no emotion, and finally
What up, Sensei?
admits to the murder.
We're reacting to the most craziest courtroom moments.
For how you've been treated.
That is very accurate.
Who killed Jennifer Fulford?
I did.
He took the stand during the penalty phase, and this is what he had to say.
How has your mental health been affected by your previous incarceration?
I am a homicidal maniac.
In the end, Nelson was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison.
This is John
Wow.
Miller. He spent 27 years wrongfully
Oh,
convicted
I seen this
of
case.
murder. I'm an innocent man, Your Honor, and I have always been an innocent man.
While living in Brooklyn, New York, Bunn
I remember
was
this
only
case. Oh, my
14 years
God.
old when he was arrested by NYPD detective Louis Scarcella. Bunn later spent 16 years
Oh, stay with your
behind
Gen 3
bars
on you? I
and
know what you mean by
11
that.
years out on parole, where he still fought to prove his innocence. Then finally, his conviction was overturned based on the wrongdoing of Detective Scarcella and the fact that there wasn't even probable cause to arrest Bunn in the first place.
I want y'all to know that y'all convicted and had a warm man in prison.
And after 27 years of fighting to clear his name, he is finally exonerated.
I want to say thank you, Your Honor, because in 27 years, I've been fighting for my life.
But before he leaves the
27 years. Like, that just destroys me inside, bro. We're talking about the potential of having kids grow and watching them grow, whether if it's from the goods, the bads, the highs, the lows. Ooh, Chacho, man. Like, you ain't able to see your family members, relatives probably passed away. A woman that you was probably with or a man that you was probably with now moved on and lived their life. And like, remember, them years is taken from you. And I gotta say, the man looked good. The man's skin, everything looked good on him, man. I'm glad he took care of himself. It don't look like he was on no shit because a lot of people come out of jail, 27 years coming out of jail. If you did commit that motherfucking crime, they might come out looking fucked up. He looked good. I'm glad, but I ain't gonna lie. No amount of money is gonna make up 27 fucking years. 27 years of your life.
Courtroom. He has a moment with the judge.
That's so fucked up.
Bunn later filed a lawsuit against the city of New York and Detective Scarcella. This is Alan McCarty, who was arrested and charged.
That's what I'm
after
saying.
making
Oh, last
death
week, happy
threats
belated
to a
birthday, man.
judge.
You
In
could have gotten a few
child
degrees.
custody Case, a
Missed
judge
out on
ruled
yeah,
against
man.
McCarty and took away his children. His erratic behavior towards the judge against making death threats to a judge. In a child custody case, a judge ruled against McCarty and took
That's
away
1090
his
Jake?
children. His erratic behavior towards the
Stop.
judge continued into his court appearances.
My daddy owns the building and I look like a f***ing idiot, huh? Brought your dress today, you little f***ing prick. You wanna take my kids from me? Like that? You and that shut the up. I'm trying to think over here.
After
Yeah,
McCarty was
Brazen,
found
how you
guilty
doing?
for the original threats made to a judge, we now move on to the sentencing.
What a bunch of guys, you stupid piece of then also you threatened my life, you in the you back room. Suck my no. I'm not standing. Not resisting. I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing up. I'm not standing. I don't have to stand.
McCarty is
Shout out
moved
to that
another
woman
room
holding it
to
down,
watch
yo.
the court through a
That's what I'm
one-way
talking about, man.
glass,
She holding
and
it the
he
fuck down,
continues
yo.
on making a
What kind of shit is
disturbance.
going on in this bitch?
McCarty was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The judge also issued an additional 10-day sentence due to his actions in the courtroom.
Stupid.
This is Markeith Lloyd, who is
And she
convicted
picked his
of
heavy ass
murdering
up.
a police officer in
What?
Orlando, Florida.
Wait a minute, I remember this case too. What the fuck? Oh shit, now this video is showing some like within the last several years of a case. Bro did it like 1090 Jake, right? Back of the car.
Lloyd
how he
was
sounds.
already on the run from the police after he killed his former girlfriend, who was pregnant with his child. A month later, Lloyd is spotted in a Walmart. You can see him walking in. Moments later, Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton pulls in. You can see her grab a cart and walk in. Reportedly, they cross paths every few minutes. Outside the store, Lieutenant Clayton was notified and she tried to stop and arrest Lloyd when a shootout begun. Lieutenant Clayton was killed during the interaction, being shot 4 times. Following the murder, Lloyd took off again, which led to a 9-day manhunt, where he was later found. During the arrest, he tried to escape, where he lost his left eye in the altercation. Here in court, Lloyd took the stand. Reportedly, he believed everyone was out to kill him.
And I was just reacting, Mayor. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired 2 shots, I just reacted.
The jury then found him guilty.
It really hurts deep down inside.
This is Lieutenant Clayton's sister giving a victim impact statement.
She stood in the place as my mother when I didn't have one. I truly miss my sister.
Oh shit.
I truly miss her.
And this is the moment that Lloyd hears that the jury unanimously recommends the death sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Lloyd, should be sentenced to death.
Lloyd seems to mouth something out to the public. A few moments later, Lloyd has an outburst.
You've been trying to kill me. You've been trying to bring me for murder.
All right, why don't we remove Mr. Lloyd from the courtroom?
The judge later agreed with the jury and sent Lloyd to death, where he now sits behind bars waiting for his death sentence.
Wow.
This is Daryl Brooks.
We're in the
who was
patch bag?
convicted of killing 6 people and injuring dozens of others after he drove his SUV into a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Reportedly, during his reckless driving, he reached speeds of over 30 miles per hour, and the prosecution argued that his driving rampage was intentional.
He plowed through 68 different people. He kept going until he got to the end. and there was no more bodies to hit. It was intentional.
After Brooks was arrested and
That should just remind me of what just happened. Was it Louisiana? Two terrorists? Were they a couple or some shit? They need the motherfucking death penalty. Pieces of shit.
charged, Brooks
They need to be sentenced to death. And I don't even like talking like that because God knows I don't play with that.
You are
Like,
allowed to represent yourself in this case, sir.
fucking
You will
terrible.
not have attorneys assisting you. They're gone from this case. Do you understand that?
I think I will probably be better served representing myself.
Throughout the trial, Brooks was removed
What the
multiple
hell?
times for constant interruptions and outbursts. It was here that his real personality was shown when he starts to laugh during a witness testimony.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he's gonna kill her.
Nah, he cuckoo. He's
Back in
crazy.
the courtroom, Brooks has an outburst as he didn't like how the district attorney pronounced the word defendant.
I would like to provide the defendant and the court.
So that had to be said. The defendant. I got one ear that work and I heard that.
This
Come on,
is
man.
to benefit you,
No,
that
it's
you
not.
understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit
witness.
me.
And now, Brooks is clearly frustrated. He decides to have a stare
the
down
fuck?
with the judge.
Man, fix your fucking face. What the fuck is... Yo. Nah, he Looney Tunes, bro. This guy's loony. He's fucking loony. Who makes a face like this? Only toddlers do this shit when they want milk. Now this motherfucker is cuckoo, yo.
I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
The jury quickly found Brooks guilty of all 76 charges against him, and he was given 6 life sentences, plus more than 700 additional years in prison.
Oh, my man's gonna be there. Fucking, he may as well own shares of the prison system. He gonna have a share of it because these motherfuckers gonna die there.
Killing a 20-year-old woman and seriously wounding her boyfriend. Portia Brooks was in her car with her boyfriend Aaron Martin when Smith Riley came up to her car with 2 others looking to rob them. When Smith Riley found out Martin didn't have any cash, he was shot in the head, leaving him with permanent brain damage. Smith Riley then shot at Brooks, which killed her 3 days later.
Sorry. Go back on with me. I just want to come home with this.
This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day, and he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Now, Portia Brooks' mother delivers a victim impact statement.
But he killed me mentally, emotionally. He killed my identity as a mother of 3, as a family of 4.
This is now Brooks' sister speaking.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
This is moments right before Jaleel Smith Riley gets
What the
news
fuck?
that he will never be allowed to return home again.
Defendant serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4 for the offense of attempted murder.
Motherfucker, what the fuck you thought you was gonna get with your hollering ass? Motherfucker, what the fuck is you thinking? Bitch, death penalty, motherfucker. John Face is say those things dirty. That's what I'm saying. Motherfucker said, I just want to come home one day. Like, what the fuck? You ain't never gonna come home. Your ass gonna die in prison. Yo, son, what's up with these people? Yo, they cuckoo, dog. This is why, like, the mental health system is a real scary thing. That's what I was working for 8 years. Like, you gotta protect those people who are loony as well, who have commit crimes, and they don't go to jail oftentimes. But like, the system is now starting to, like, because if the system is starting to change a little bit to where if you do plead insanity, like, it depends on the charge. But like, I think if you kill somebody, yo, man, go the fuck to jail. Now you get out of jail because you didn't have control over your body. What? Because somebody inside you was fucking tickling your ass and telling you to do it? Nah, man. It was great watching you cut up and come over here. Oh, that's lit. Yeah, I was watching them too. I was watching Gabe cut up earlier, man. I was like, yeah, I can't drive like that. I would have probably crashed already. Bro, shit. Now, life without parole, shoot me right there. Now, life without parole, shit. And then the go-to, I didn't know if y'all noticed. You know how there's meta in video games? You know when you look up the best Call of Duty class setup? No bullshit. Call of Duty class setups. You know, in certain games, there's like a meta. In the prison system, no funny. There's a meta that every time somebody did some crazy shit, they all want to be Muslim now. And then they go Muslim and then they file to try to get to get out on parole or to whatever. No, that was the meta for years, and they now cracking down on it. That shit crazy. We get a real crash kid. Sorry, I don't mean to. But no, that shit was crazy. There's a meta to this shit. You said people crazy, Ricky. I always keep it's cool glove box. Man, my shit under the desk. My shit right back there under the desk, yo. I don't play that shit, man. I got some firepower to my shit. My shit got stopping power in the clip. You know what I mean? I would show y'all, but I don't want to get in trouble. You know, my motherfucking shit got packer punched, motherfucker, and it's a Hellcat. Don't play that shit. My shit got that power.
This is Michael.
My shit come with a V8.
A prison escape that resulted in the death of 4 prison workers.
I didn't get stung by the word. I think you misspelled it. And I got confused. You said nunchaku, so I didn't know if that was the proper term. I just knew what you was talking about. But I keep that shit on me. 16, no safety. All I'm gonna say. That's what I'm saying. Shit, my shit smaller than my hand. It's a Hellcat with a V8. Don't play that shit. Man, Ricky, shooting channel win. Nah, I have some guns and shit, but I would need to learn more about more other guns. You know what I'm saying? It's another term for it.
At Pasco Tate Correctional Institution in North Carolina.
I stabbed him 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Howe until he stopped moving. I don't know how many times I hit him with a hammer.
Brady was facing 24 years in prison for an attempted murder conviction after he shot at a North Carolina state trooper. And 4 years into his sentence, Brady and 3 other inmates brutally murdered 4 prison workers with hammers and scissors. Inmates brutally murdered 4.
No disrespect. I feel so bad for this gentleman, and God bless his soul if he's the one that got hurt. They said brutally murdered, but him walking like that, he shouldn't be working at this job. He walking, and I'm not saying that zesty. No, I'm saying he seemed like he's happy, bro. Like his life, he's happy. He's walking as if he's just doodling around. I feel so bad, bro.
Prison workers with hammers and scissors.
That man, Michael Brady, beat that man, George Midget, like he was trying to bust concrete.
Brady then tried to hop a fence, but then was captured at gunpoint.
It was like a bloodbath, and I stepped in between Jeffrey and Wendy, and I slid trying to get in because the whole elevator floor was nothing but blood.
During the trial, the prosecutors argued that Brady was the one who planned the attack and had no remorse for the killings.
We know who originated the plan. We know who led the plan.
After Brady is found guilty, he now takes the stand at his sentencing.
I'm up here to tell the truth. You can ask me anything you want. I'm going to tell the truth. Whether it hurts me, whether it helps me. I don't care about that.
You don't believe you're crazy, do you?
No, I don't think I'm crazy, no.
And you do know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes.
So you know murder is wrong?
Murder is a different name for a death, but yes.
Your freedom meant more than their lives.
Yes.
And now the judge reads out the jury's recommendation.
Jury unanimously recommending that the defendant be sentenced to death.
Brady seems completely emotionless, and the judge later agrees on the death penalty, where he now sits locked up in Colorado, awaiting his death sentence.
I'll tell you right now, you said, what I don't understand is why the killer's family be sad and angry, because I honestly, there's dysfunctions in the family, but imagine if your son or daughter is on the stand in front of you and they're going to kill them. They're going to put them on the stand for murder, or they came in there for Twitch. This is just educational purposes, raping someone or sexually molesting somebody, sexually assaulting someone. You're looking at them and you're probably just filled with anger and crying yo, I didn't think this was going to be the kid we brought into this world. That's crazy. Now, if that family's all dysfunctional, something might be wrong with the parents at home. Parents might have touched the kid too growing up. I'm telling you, early 90s and 80s is a crazy time. That's why all these movies, I be going back watching classics, man. That's why all these movies is all fucked up. These movies is dead ass. The family may not have been paying attention to. Yeah, the Jeffrey Dahmer shit gets interesting when you start reading about it rather than looking at movies and shit, because you're really wondering what the fuck was wrong with the mom and dad. You know, and the simple fact that their kid did all that, and that shit's crazy. Am I the only one who believes if it's on video 4K, that should be a closed case? Yes, but because we live in a system where this is the thing. Whatever year it was, if it was 1776, the 1600s, or the 18 or 1900s, whoever issued these laws and rules and regulations in the judicial system and all these law systems, right, where you need to go through certain classes of whatever while proceeding a case, if you accidentally do something small wrong in that case, they can shut the case down and that motherfucker could be free and cleared. So even though they got the evidence, they show everything, they have to go through that system to make sure that motherfucker, because they issued a law on paper years ago and Hancock did. Y'all know what Hancock is, John Hancock. And they write it down. If somebody goes, oh, they missed a step, they can countersue and win and close the case, knowing that person must have killed 100 people. And well, we never seen a massive incident like that in history to where somebody got away with that because of a small mishap, because the courts, they will just overturn it. But the whole point is, like, now that there's rules in place, they got to go through that system, or else guess what? God forbid they fuck up on one of them. I forgot what it's called. They can countersue, win that, drop the case, and you can't prosecute them for that same case anymore. Shit is stupid, man. Friend got invited to a cookout Dharma was having. Shit was crazy. Your Nana was, oh wait, that was probably years ago, right? Yeah, there's 2 movies on Jeffrey Dahmer. The Netflix one was really good, but it was really sketchy because I like it, but I know it offended the families a lot.
Williams, who is convicted of multiple felonies, including armed robberies and fleeing police in Cleveland, Ohio.
Again, I'm going to interrupt. Mr. Williams, listen to me. I'm going to gag you in 1 second.
Williams conducted 3 armed robberies before leading police on a high-speed chase. He was later arrested and convicted. Now, at his sentencing, Williams would not stop talking, despite more
I remember this, yo. This guy got a motor mouth.
That means zip it right now. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. That's a violation of the HIPAA law, Judge.
Here we go.
This resulted in the judge ordering Williams' mouth to be taped shut.
If you spit on, attempt to bite, or injure any of my deputies, you're going to have a bad day.
That's what it is.
At a following court appearance, Williams has something to share with the judge and cameras.
Freedom of speech, no duct tape with the hashtag.
Aside from all the interruptions, the judge can hand down Williams' sentence.
You face the potential maximum consecutive sentence of 134 years. I ordered a 24-year sentence.
After Williams received a 24-year prison sentence, the judge later apologized for the duct tape and threw out that sentence.
Yo. Get Ace Bum. Yo, thank you for the 30 bits, man. God bless, brother. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for the first time chat as well, man. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? AKA deaf? Yeah, that's facts. 130-something years is just deaf. And he was wrong about that HIPAA law shit. You're in a courtroom where they have to discuss, legalities and shit like that. Sometimes I don't understand my people. It ain't just your people, bro. It's just mental illness, gang. Like, don't even downplay your people, bro. There's fucking idiots all over the place, gang. Yo, thank you for the fucking 50 bits, man. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, man. God bless. And I know I'm gonna call it. Be easy, my boy. Let me see. Get the probiotics jumping and get your health back. Right, yo, appreciate you, gang. Much love, gang. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man, when I go live. Ricky, what if we could still do a trial by combat, like back in the medieval days? Well, we got waterboarding and they got stoning in certain places, like Amish territories, I'm assuming. You know what I'm saying? He said tape them up. That motherfucker, I think that was against the rules, yo. I don't know. But thank you so much for the follow as well, man. How you doing, bro?
He then appointed a new judge, where she sentenced him to 33 years behind bars. This is Martez Abram, who is convicted on 2 counts of murder for the killings of 2 Walmart employees in South Haven, Mississippi. Abram had worked at the Walmart but was faced with a suspension.
I'm a fan of the Stony too now. He look like Ricochet from the side.
The day
in the front, he don't look like nothing like him.
Returned to the store with multiple weapons and opened fire, killing store managers Anthony Brown and Brandon Gales.
He was laying on the ground with his eyes open, and I ran up to him. And I looked at him. I said, Anthony, honey, please say KC one more time.
He also shot an officer who survived due to his bulletproof vest.
Once I got out of my vehicle, I heard gunshots, and I felt the pressure of the bullet hit my back.
He was arrested on site. Now in court, Abram admits to all crimes.
That's you, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Look at it, please, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Gale, is on the floor going down at this point, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, and that's you shooting him, right?
Yes.
Look at the screen, sir.
Yes.
That's you shooting him?
Yes.
Can you admit that you shot him in cold blood?
Yes.
You shot him again, didn't you?
Yes.
After that, you went back to the toilet paper aisle, didn't you?
Yes.
This is one of the victim's wife delivering a victim impact statement.
You took Anthony from me on the exact day, 20 years earlier, that we had our first date.
And now this is when the judge will decide Abram's fate.
In count 1, I will sentence you to death. Count 2, you will be sentenced to death. In count 3, you will be sentenced to life in the penitentiary.
So they're going to kill his ass twice and then just let him know we're going to just keep your remains here for a whole nother life sentence. We're just letting you know. So don't expect to go up or down. You're just going to be rotting in here. We're going to fuck your ass up twice. We're going to kill your ass twice. And then on top of that, we're just going to leave your shit here. We're going to put a little urn in the corner. We're going to put a little urn on the top bunk. Keep your ass there. She said on one count, you've been sentenced to death. Second one, death. Third, life in prison. Like, motherfucker ain't gonna be no life. You dead already. Kill you twice. That shit crazy. He was like, yes. Fuck out of here. I don't fall for none of that, bro. I'm telling you, I became not cold-hearted. I became stern when I worked at the hospital, bro. And a dude who had actually killed somebody. It was like self-defense though. It was on the news too. You could just type in like Dominican. No funny shit. It was a Dominican kid, teenager at the time. He stabbed some dude in the train. Out of self-defense, but he ended up cuckoo later. But that motherfucker threw shit on us. Because he was being all nice and everything, like, yeah, you know, he was older at the time. As soon as he didn't get what he wants, that motherfucker turned up on one of my nurse assistants and like pushed him and slammed him. After that, I never trusted a soul, bro. I don't care how you come in. I don't care if you come in like this. I don't give a fuck. I'll be like, hey, how can I help you? I just want to know. No. What's your insurance? Red Cross, Blue Shield. Like, now I know you. Now I know you lying. You gave me insurance without no stuttering. Fuck out of here. Hell no.
As Abram hears that he
I don't
will
fall
be
for that shit,
receiving the
man.
death penalty, he stands silently, where he now sits on death row awaiting his execution. This is Erica Butts and Shanita Cunningham. They were both charged with homicide by child abuse in Somerville, South Carolina. But they were both. This is Erica Butts and Shanita Cunningham. They were both charged with homicide by
Why they
child
put the
abuse
Lifetime
in
music behind their
Somerville, South
faintings?
Carolina. Butts, who was best friends with the child's mother, was supposed to be caring for the toddler for 2 weeks. The child was only 3 years old. She died from her injuries, reflecting weeks of torture. A time frame that matched the time she had spent with Butts and her
Yeah, they make
lover
you
at
wait.
the time, Cunningham.
What must have been the excruciating sounds that came from that child is more than disconcerting to this court.
After both women were found guilty, the judge now hands down their sentence.
The court finds it appropriate that each be sentenced to the State Department of Corrections for a period of life.
They were just sentenced to life in prison.
Bitch. Oh, man, yo. It's late. It's late, yo. I ain't falling for none of them sound effects. I don't give a fuck if you part of the orchestra. Bitch, they gonna beat your ass to death. Do you understand? They don't give a fuck. There's a little territory. There's a little community in jail for like predators, pedophiles, and whatever the next killers. But if you beat a kid or molest a kid, they gonna go after your ass. My mom's friend Donnie's mom. Donnie said it publicly. His mom used to work in the same correctional facility as my mom's best friend. My mom's best friend was a captain on one of the sides, and she said the time they killed that little girl, something Cruz, I forgot her name, that they used to tie her to a chair. They used to make her eat cat litter, mad shit. When the husband and the wife went to the prison, in the female side, they beat the fuck out the woman, the female. And on the male side, they beat the shit out of him. That they were waiting for him. I was like, holy shit. Now, the mother, she's lesbian. Because that's what happens. Now you're going to go to jail for life and be lesbian. I mean, that's just, I'm not saying that to demoralize being lesbian. Or not. That's just what's going to happen. That's your life now. Like, you're not going to be able to create a family, do nothing. You're going to be rotting in prison, eating hairy female ass. I always wonder how do they find out what you do? They get TV in prison? It ain't like the 50s and 60s. They watch the news. That's their favorite. The news is they BET. The news is they MTV Cribs. The news is they Twitch. They watch the news like it's a fucking Knicks game. Like it's the Knicks versus the Mavericks or something. Shit, you see how we was going off because the Cavs was like on a whatever win streak? NFL playoffs? The news be they playoffs. They have cable in some prisons, yes. And if they don't got cable, guess what they got? They got the news. And you know who pushed the news for them? The guards. Because the guards know what time it is when these people that are arrested for just weed or they're arrested for gang violence, but they got families and they know they're about to get a child predator up in this bitch and they don't want to deal with them. They're going to put that motherfucking news on and make sure that they know that there's a child predator coming. Yes. Or family get paperwork for them, yes. Yo, telenovela, yo, facts. Yo, the news is literally like a season of Game of Thrones, yo. Fuck.
Butts and Cunningham are reportedly at separate prisons serving their life sentences. This is Keith Ferguson from Kalkaska, Michigan. He was set to court for 12 felony counts, including kidnapping and murder. Ferguson, who was 40 at the time, was engaged in a divorce argument with his wife, Tiffany Ferguson, when he began to suddenly beat her, followed by fatally shooting her in front of their 4 children. He then hauled the children over to Tiffany's parents' house, where he fatally shot his father-in-law. After fleeing the scene, Ferguson stormed a nearby house, taking the owner hostage, and barricaded himself inside the home. After a 7-hour standoff, Ferguson was arrested.
The defendant has already murdered multiple people, and fled, and has taken hostages.
What up, UDon? How you doing? Nah, this motherfucker needs to go to jail too for life and death.
The situation baffled everyone.
All right, Mr. Ferguson, can I get you to stand up?
Cut his dick off, facts.
All right, I need to have you raise your right hand for me. Okay, all right.
Just pull me back from my
Okay, stop.
At his sentencing, Tiffany's best friend gives a victim impact statement, saying she always felt that Keith would hurt his wife.
I knew one day he would kill her. She would always reply, "He loves his kids too much. He won't kill me. He loved them so much, he murdered their mother and grandfather."
When asked about his children, Ferguson never desired to see or speak to them again. The judge responded by saying,
"You may not meet the clinical definition of insanity, but there's clearly something fundamentally wrong with you."
Ferguson was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
See y'all in hell.
This is Randall Moore. He is facing 3 life sentences for crimes against his former wife, Therese Ann Lynch.
Always putting their hands on their wives, killing their wives.
Protective order against him. This resulted in
his earlobe was trippy.
and killing his estranged wife. Officer Todd Rowland responded to the cries from the apartment, where he was then shot and wounded.
That's not real. Rick, you hear about the dude who had a life sentence but then died, but was revived, so he sued to get out? Is that real? God damn. Holy, I might do like 2 more big cases because this shit getting sad, bro. That's real?
Okay, 303 Adams been hit, officer down. Suspect's armed with 20 shells. Advises nobody come to the door as he will shoot again.
Shortly after, Moore had a phone call with a 911 dispatcher. Listen as he explains his motives.
I didn't want to do any of this. Okay. But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
Not long after, Moore surrendered, and for Officer Rowland, he underwent surgery for his hand. As the verdict is read out, Moore gives nothing but a slight nod.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping in the first degree. Guilty of sexual abuse in the first degree. Guilty of attempt to commit murder.
At Moore's sentencing, Lynch's mother gives a victim impact statement.
What you did to my daughter, Therese Ann Marie Lynch, was evil, hateful, and despicable. You are now dead and rotting and repulsive to me.
Read the journal she wrote. She hated you.
Thank you, Judge.
She hated you.
Thank you.
You're a loser.
Moore refused to apologize for his actions, saying he had no remorse for what happened.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Teresa Ann's death. It could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
But now comes the judge.
If anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were before you start talking, they know it now. The court doesn't allow me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.
Moore was given a total of 3 life sentences plus 25 years for the attempted murder.
Can I be honest with you? What they need to do, yo, in GTA, what they need to do, they need to lock him in a room and just have little sprinkles of acid just touch his body. See how he reacts. And just see him squeal. Like, you know, like a little shower head? Like a little shower head of just acid just flinging at him. Like little pieces of it. Once that shit touch the body, like just little pieces of acid for these pieces of shit. I'm just saying.
This is David Ranta.
I don't know if that was a salt trap. I don't know, but I just thought about that right now.
He did not
That's a good killing tip for a movie.
Ranta was arrested by Detective Louis Scarcella. Ranta was put in a police lineup run by Scarcella.
Shit crazy.
And was identified as the shooter. But decades later, reportedly, the key witness.
How you go from looking Mexican to looking
Ranta
white?
Was put in a police lineup run by Scarcella and was identified as the shooter. But decades later, reportedly, the key witness revealed that the detective had provided him with a description of whom to pick in the lineup. There was no physical evidence linking Ranta to the killing, and the evidence presented to the jury was allegedly fabricated. Ranta was then convicted and sentenced to 37 and a half years to life in prison. But after spending over 2 decades in prison, the former witnesses admitted that they were pressured into testifying against Ranta. And now, this is the moment his conviction gets thrown out.
Mr. Ranta, to say that I'm sorry for what you have endured would be an understatement and grossly inadequate, but I say it to you anyway. The defendant's motion to vacate the judgment of conviction is granted.
That's fucked up. My man is an old man. He is an old man.
After his handcuffs were removed, he hugged his family. With all he owned thrown over his back, he walks out a free man. After his release, he reportedly received $2
37
million
years
from the state and a $6.4 million settlement from the city of New York. This is Diana Lovejoy. She used to be married to Greg Mulvihill living in Carlsbad, California. But soon their marriage fell apart and they divorced.
He was in prison for 20? Okay.
After a messy divorce and lots of legal trouble, it ended with the
after this one, I'm going to put Pink Soul out because this is kind of lengthy. And then we're going to end it with Pink Soul out. But this was good so far. We can finish the rest of this part tomorrow. I'm really liking this. And thank y'all, man. Nah, real shit, thank y'all for like even vibing with me tonight and chatting and shit. Because I ain't going to lie, when I'm not streaming and like I was supposed to be recording and doing a bunch of stuff, sitting here, and I'll go back, sitting here like, because I got like a little headache already. It's kind of hard to work, like do my stuff that I like to do, the recording and stuff like that when my body feels fatigued. So I'll be pausing the game and I'm like, yo, bro, and let me get up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get the fuck up and do this shit, yo. You said, I gonna lie, Rick, can you do more? Nah, I will, man. It's crazy. The guys got on me about this too, bro. The guys got on me about this. The homies always get at me about this, you know. Fucking, I be talking to Trey, and Trey goes, Rick, just do the shit you was always doing, bro. But it's just because these last couple months I've been trying to get the YouTube shit to 100K. But I do miss doing this shit. I do. I miss doing this shit a lot. This shit was lit. You know what I'm saying? But especially when I'm sick, I'm like, I need to push through this shit, yo, because I don't like being like, you be feeling like you lonely when you're not, right? Like when you sick, you feel like you nap for 20 minutes. It feels like 2 fucking hours, yo. Then you wake up and you realize, like, I don't know, being sick, trying to sleep is the worst feeling ever. The shows don't really pop off until like you're feeling a little bit better, because that feeling of like the heat rubbing over your eyes is weird. I got you, Sensei. Nah, but real shit, I appreciate y'all a lot. Now let me go back on this real quick. On this one real quick. Someone agrees, not facts. You do need to get back into story-based games. No, I will. Trust me. I also been stressed out trying to like land this house the houses, whatever I've been looking at, been wanting. Because trying to freak out the office, man. This office is weird. I should have stood in the mother-in-law suite, what I did was I already packed up a lot of shit into 10 boxes. The problem is that this got a closet on this side, a window right here, and a slide door to the yard. So I don't have room to be flexible with everything. It's a big size room, but I want the office that I had before. So I'm aiming for that. That's why I haven't settled for just any crib. You know what I'm saying? No, but right now I can still do all those streams. Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, no, we already did the sponsor. Almost said something. Let's get back to the video. I wasn't even supposed to say nothing.
Settlement from the city of New York.
Assassin's Creed.
This is Diana Lovejoy. She used to be married to Greg.
I got something coming from them, from Assassin's Creed, coming soon.
But soon their marriage fell apart and they divorced. After a messy divorce and lots of legal trouble, it ended with the court ordering Diana to pay $120,000 to Greg for his stake in their family house. The court also ordered that she must share custody of their son. Diana became furious about hearing the court orders, so she planned to kill her ex-husband by teaming up with her boyfriend, Weldon McDavid. Greg was shot in the torso, but luckily the boyfriend allegedly fabricated. Ranta was then in prison.
Why the hell did it jump that back?
After a order that she must share custody of their son. Diana became furious about hearing the court orders, so she planned to kill her ex-husband by teaming up with her boyfriend, Weldon McDavid. Greg was shot in the torso, but luckily the bullet didn't hit his heart and he survived. Both McDavid and Diana conspired to murder, and the court has sufficient evidence against them.
It's so painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
Interestingly, she fainted in court. She lowered her head down toward the defense table for a few seconds.
Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill.
And right when you hear guilty, you hear a thud.
Guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
It silenced the courtroom, aside from hearing her family cry in the background.
We're gonna need to take a break.
She then is brought onto the floor. And when medics bring her out, she still appears to be passed out. But doctors later found out she had only fainted. Weldon McDavid received 50 passed out. And she then is brought onto the floor.
Good job, bitch. Welcome to hell. Fuck out of here, fainting like that. Faint your ass into prison. Fuck out of here.
And when medics bring her out, she still appears to be passed out. But doctors
Fuck
later
outta
found
here.
out she had only fainted.
Yeah,
Weldon
fuck outta
McDavid
here.
received 50 years to life in prison because she was
Stupid,
the one
bro.
that pulled the trigger.
Stupid.
And Diana was sentenced
Stupid
to 26
motherfucker.
years to life in prison.
She was sentenced to less time. She was the one who orchestrated the whole shit. What the fuck is wrong with the system? They should both get equal time. Yeah, it's a life though, but still, like, all right, I guess.